Hello, it's Eric from E.M.B.R, and it is a new month, May, and a new ZHQ series, Makuri May. First stage, bridges and boardwalks, that's what we're doing today. I'm going to be racing the race this month. Last month we finished 4th in the GC, racing for that. And what I hope that will mean as the series goes on is, instead of getting across the banner on absolute fumes just being trashed, I'll actually get to do some sprint finishes again.
Yeah, Dom's from a trail run this weekend. We're going to see how it goes.
There's some pre-race confidence there, though. I've been doing some trail running. I'm going to be part of a summer trail series, May through August this year. So just getting my running ramped up, and yeah, the legs weren't agreeing with it, but we have a race to do, and we're going to do it. As I always do in this series, I will time lapse portions of this just to speed it up, and then slow it down where there's some key inflection points. I'll put in chapter markers, do a little bit of commentary, all those sorts of things you're used to. And I am time-lapsing the beginning of lap 1 here, the lead-in, because it is pretty sedate. I'm not pushing pace, I'm not racing GC. And because I'm racing the race and not GC, I can be efficient here, just sit in the pack. I'm not worried about how fast the individual race is, just how I do within it. So I'm more than content to just sit back in the pack and race how I often would race. I'll get some intervals in, I'm sure, as the race goes on, so I'm not too stressed about it. But, of course, someone's got to say something. Damn it, Donner.
There, someone pegged him. Had to say it, didn't you?
And then he acts all innocent like he didn't intend for that to happen.
Had to say it.
Donner will talk some trash often when it's a little bit slow. He cracks me up.
Some people take that like you're challenging their ego.
It always surprises me that a little chirp like that can cause people to react in that way. Sadly, I've got to react to their reaction, but I don't know. You can chirp at me all day, and I'm going to just race the race, but like I said, I got to react to the reaction. So, a little bit of a leg opener, and on we go. It does calm down a little bit there, though. There's this 30-second punch as you just start the initial go up. And people are hitting it there for sure a little bit. I'm just trying to carry speed over that, because then there is a flat / descent before you get into the climb proper. I'm more than happy to tail gun at the back here until someone else goes. And I had already hit my arrow just to drive through the pack, so I just follow that. Not really thinking this is going to go long or anything, just wanted to follow it. I'm already there. And then as the field comes through, I've sort of can split the effort a little bit and just follow back here a little bit more. Trying to see how the quads are feeling for the day. Didn't have a feather, so just follow those. This climb's probably about, 90 seconds till the part with the climb HUD finishes. You see that go away, but you're not done going up at that point. There's still like a 2% grind or so. You can kind of see maybe, yeah, if you look at the mini map, you can kind of see where it's still going up, even 1% now, 2%, but it's just that grind just keeps going. That'll be more relevant in the later laps for sure. And then finally, right around here, maybe 3 minutes or so into the effort, you actually get to where you're descending proper and can come off the power, rest and relax a little bit, which I'm definitely doing, just using. I'm not coming completely off power, but definitely just sort of spinning here, getting the heart rate back down into the gray, chilling out. And yeah, quads are feeling okay in zone 1, zone 2. They weren't feeling great on that effort up the climb, so I was trying to keep that in mind. And a lot of sitting here. I'll stand up and push when I have to, but I could definitely feel the DOMs from that trail run, and just knowing, hey, I got to survive. We can get through it clean. We'll be all right, and we'll go from there.
I'm still okay with spinning this arrow, but getting to the point where probably not after this. I'll have regrets if I don't get it.
And so I do end up cycling my arrow here just to try to search for a feather for the climb. Got another arrow, which is fine, but yeah, so I'm just sitting in, trying to be efficient as I can on this again. This honestly feels a lot like Jarvis loops, like Decadash, but 3 laps instead of 10, where you get this long sort of gray-blue descent / flat, and then you start to approach the climb again, and sure enough, someone's off, and then you're going to put an effort again. It's sort of repeat intervals. This guy goes off, and I do decide to chase a little bit. I had some concerns that someone could get away. It's paralysis by the peloton if a couple of us go out the front and then they don't feel like chasing. So I did pull up onto the back of this wheel here. And that's maybe a little more vigilant than I need to be. Probably could let someone else chase that back, especially with, you know, another lap and a half to go. But I do kind of end up sitting back here. E.M.B.R was off the front there, but yeah, I'm just sitting in second wheel after that. So not really too much extra effort spent. They are putting some power down though on this this climb again. My nose comes out a little bit of the wind there, but then I fall behind the feathers and start to tail gun appropriately. But it's hard effort. I can feel it in the quads. Again, a few more folks attacked pretty hard. These ones I'm definitely, you know, whether I can or can't pull them back, my quad's feeling it. I'm like, I don't need to chase that. That's a little aggressive. And to be honest, this effort's starting to hurt a little. And that yell was just a reaction to my quad chirping at me. I was feeling it, but hopefully we're going to sit back in the chase and those will slowly come back on the descent. And pick up another arrow, and yeah, we're just sort of sitting in, and those folks are mostly coming back with the field. Not really doing much work here. A little bit of a punch just to keep the speed up, but mostly staying in wheels and finally starting to calm down as we get together here. Feeling pretty good. Still trying to catch a little bit of rest here on the descent, getting a little drink, and then I see Lavery approaching.
Don't do it, Lavery.
Lavery's 100 kg, and we're going downhill, and he punched power. I'm like, don't do it to me. I want to rest. But fortunately, it was a short punch just to get into arrow, and it's not that bad. But I was like, let me catch a breath before we hit that hill again. And it does calm down in the blue and gray. Feeling pretty good here, sitting in, not trying to push pace again, and I'm about the race, not the GC, so I can be efficient back here, catching some fuel, just getting ready.
Got to burn matches on the hill and hope I recover. My legs, left quad especially, are okay for the sprint, assuming I'm still attached. We clutch the arrow, clutch the arrow.
And that's where my head's at going into this final lap. Clutch the arrow. You could get a feather and then another arrow at the top, but no risk in that. Really want to have the arrow at the end. And if I got to burn matches climbing the hill, I got to burn matches. But as I'm thinking about my plan, someone else is always going to disrupt them. And sure enough, as we're approaching the banner, someone kicks it up and definitely establishes a break. I'm like, yeah, you're gone. I'm not quite chasing that. I was really hoping to rest until the hill started. And certainly don't want to be the one trying to pull that back. So I'm sitting.
Peloton paralysis. There goes a chaser.
There goes another punch. Now what do you do? Concerned about Peloton paralysis, but it doesn't actually look like that's what we're getting. I show a little patience here and just sit in the wheels of the chase, but guy in front's definitely establishing a break, and there's now a gap between those chasers, so it's like, man, now it could be 3 up the road, and I hit it. I don't know if this is the right decision or not. Lightning stalks are kicking off, definitely putting down some power here just to start to snap to their wheels. I was hoping that maybe they might hit 6 watts a kg or so, and I could just sit in the wheels at 4 point something. As you can see, they're a little bit north at 6.2. I needed to snap the wheel a little bit harder. Now he's pushing even harder. Yeah, they're being serious about it, and I need to be. I'm getting a little draft where I'm at, but not enough. But they just keep ramping and ramping, and they're more, 8 watts and not 6 watts, and so yeah, I have to hit it again. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to work a little bit harder than I expected. I was gonna. How serious are you guys? Pretty serious. 9 watts for the second there he's punching. 7 watts. And again, they're just up there, and I'm realizing
Mistakes were made.
I wasn't expecting that kind of sustain. I was hoping to be in there to chase his wheel with a small push, and then it just didn't work out that way. So now I'm trying to salvage a little bit, catching to this wheel. And maybe they're going to come back, maybe they won't. But I just, especially with how the quad was reacting in the day, didn't have that to chase. But even this guy let come by a little hard, so definitely had a punch. Lightning stalks are revealing my inefficiency there. Hard punch, and then. But I am trying to be a little bit more consistent about that and not just surge, sit, surge, sit, surge, sit, try to get more sustained. But yeah, those 3 are up the road pretty solid at this point. I burned some matches, and I'm definitely, sometimes you make a poor decision and that's the race. And I kind of feel, I burned a match there where I didn't need to, and now I need a match. And I'm hurting right now. I'm in yellow power, but I'm hurting in yellow power because of the red that I did right before this hill. And now everybody else that didn't do that work was sitting in and is pushing pretty hard. I'm definitely at the long end of a tail, getting into the business end of the climb, not where I want to be at this moment in time. And I slow this down to 100% because this is real, and this is the inflection point. This is the final lap. This is where you make the decisions and put down the power that matters. Poor decisions, so now I got to make more power, or podium's gone, or front of the race is gone. And I had enough of dying on a vine in the racing for the GC, just burying myself. I tried to race efficient here. Definitely a mistake there, burning a match where I didn't need to. Standing and grinding now, I can feel it getting away from me, and I'm 180 plus BPM on the heart rate. Quads burning at me. This is rough stuff here right now. I can't get dropped. I made a mistake. Gotta find a way. And definitely, like, those front two, I think are gone. But it's like, can you get on the chase? Be the best of the rest. Do what you got to do. And they sitting and grinding is not cutting. I'm in the red deep, clearly. And yeah, 300 watt, 350 watt sustain is not going to cut it here. You need to be pushing probably 4 or 5, maybe 550 to be up at the front there, and that's not what I'm doing. So now it's not just 2 or 3 that are away. It's quite a few. I actually lost count, but it's yeah. At this point, I'm suffering. You can see it in the face. I'm like, I lost the front of the field. Let's not lose the chase as well. It hurts, quite frankly. All I'm thinking, this is that 1 to 2% grind. And I try to tell you that when the climb HUD is over, the climb's not done. There's still, you got to be holding power here, or you're going to fall off the back. And this is still 300 plus. You're not getting to drop down to 100, 200. Now we're starting to crest maybe to the flat where you can get it under 300, but it's still, you got to survive like that. Don't think the climb's over when the HUD's over on this one. That's deceptive for sure. You got to survive. People could be surging pretty hard here, especially in the last lap, as you can see they are. I'm like, there's a gap between the group that I'm in and the next one up. Got to pull them back. The front is gone. That's we made our mistake. We tried to chase something that I didn't think was going to go as hard as it did. Burned the match. Got burnt myself. And now it's, even when you see a punch like that heading into the descent, you gotta kick up and stay in the draft. But yeah, now it's about trying to salvage what's left of the race, get some punch as much as I can to stay attached. 800 plus watt pump there just to get speed, not let this other wheel get away. That's forming a gap on us as a group. And then recover here on the flat the best we can and try to set up a sprint. That's where we're at. It's worth making a note that wheel that's off the front of us right now, that's Lavery, the 100 kg rider I talked about earlier, who punched when I was trying to catch a rest. He's using his weight to great effect again. Pop power into the descent. Heavy guy, taking it down, forming a gap. That's smart riding right there. And when he did it earlier, we weren't as gassed, and we stuck to his wheel. This time he just gets away. And that's 6 seconds on the field. And we're not going to work to push that back. Now you do have paralysis in the peloton. We're not chasing that back. We're all just trying to set up our sprint, and he's, pushing maybe a little more power than us. He formed that gap just by judicious use of power at the right time and the right terrain and getting away. But yeah, within the last 500 meters here, I'm just trying to set up a sprint. Maybe we can catch Lavery. I don't think so. I'm just trying to be best of the rest here, and those that are up the road, and I'm just trying to set up a sprint of this group of 5 or 6, line that up to the best of my capabilities. I think I can hit harder than most of them. I've been able to get rest in that blue and gray section. I feel like I can pop a sprint. And here we go. 400 meters to go, and it's just timing and execution now. It did feel good going across the line with some power instead of limping across, but yeah, it's still best of the rest.
Just didn't have the legs to go with the front today. So that's that. Silly to chase these guys.
I don't know if it was silly to chase those guys, but I definitely miscalculated. I did not expect them to go as hard as they did, and that was match burn, match done.
Man, absolute agony when I was trying to chase. I think even healthy though, that pace was hot, and I'm not there yet on lap 3. On the razor's edge, you make a mistake like that, it's over. You're not counting them going that fast. And I was committed at that point, burned the match. Mistakes were made. They'd have gone up the road at 6 or something, I could have stayed in their wheel, but they were just trucking and sustained. Misjudged that.
And could I have had it if I were feeling a little bit better? Who knows? All we know for sure is I didn't have it today. What I had today was basically worth 8th place. But yeah, here are the results there. Not bad, all things considered. Again, that front cut away, I was still pretty efficient. Under 4 watts a kg, still finishing fairly well. And though it's been a while and I could be rusty, I feel like I executed a decent sprint at the end.
In this adjustment period of running and riding, I'm gonna have to accept I'm gonna be worse at both. In the long run, I think it'll be a benefit, certainly to my general quality of life, but maybe even to those sports as long as I manage it correctly, which I have to figure out. That's the part that's going to take a little time. That and just my legs adjusting and getting DOMs after a 8-mile run will not continue to be the case. It's probably a little aggressive. It's a problem when you're cardiovascularly very fit. It doesn't mean, you can go out and run very well, but your body's just not used to it. So you have to ease in. And I've done some zone 2 5Ks, zone 2 10K in the weeks preceding, maybe once a week. So I thought going about 8 miles, 13K, and adding a little pace at the end, thought that would be all right. And it felt great during the run, but man, the delayed onset muscle soreness yesterday. I did the run on Sunday. Yesterday, just getting up and out of the chair hurt. This morning, it's feeling manageable. Still could feel it. Quad warmed up okay during the pre-race. And on zone 2, felt fine, but anytime we were pushing pace, it was chirping at me in a heavy pace. That was something.
Here's the intervals report for the ride, and intervals is about right. This was 3 intervals, 3 rest periods, and then a sprint at the end. Not a bad training impulse. Kind of hit what we were looking for the day. Not full out, full gas like the prior month. This was 96% intensity, but it got what we wanted done, and I'm saving my main intensity today for Saturdays this month for some structured stuff as I'm trying to push some other goals. But we'll see you next time. Thanks.